Hey guys, welcome back. Last week we were here, right? And we discussed move down to like 4200, 4180, right? Before a move up. You can see that that's pretty much what happened last week, right? Except the move up, right, was a pretty exasperated Friday bounce versus, like constant, a steady increase. It just kind of just like the ram bam, right? Such candles, especially without follow through, though they may look bullish or not super bullish, right? And again, this gap down should not be a surprise, right? In terms of where we closed, right? So it was pretty obvious we were gonna reject off that level. So right now, the plan is still remain the same, right? After we finish the move down and move up, I'm once again, right? Looking for a move down. I personally believe the bounce was just an oversold bounce. And we do have one more low to the downside. And also something else to consider, right, is also the fact that the RSI, right, needs to make a divergent height, right, like this. You need that divergence, right, forming on the RSI, which needs, right, the market needs to make the low. And then when the RSI makes a higher low, that's when, divergence kind of forms, in the market. And then you'd be able to have a more sustained bounce. And I think that would kind of one more move down, right, into the lows should be able to give, right, enough, this thing, right, enough power, enough divergence to have, better than, like probably what a 2% bounce. If we make it here, we probably have, I don't know about 9%, but maybe 5 to 6% is possible. So yeah, that's kind of what I have for the market. I do think we have one more low coming into earnings seasons, and then potentially we could have a bounce. So yeah, that's what I see for a short-term outlook on the market. Let's look at the dollar, right? On the 4 hour, you'll be able to see that the channel still held up, right? Though we did, you can see here, we did break down on Friday. We're kind of recovering now. So that is kind of the important level, right? In the market, we need this low at 105.5-ish to hold, right? And then I still see this wave 5 left, right? In the dollar, I don't think it's done. It definitely looks like it's got one more, that high to make before it comes down. So that would kind of align with the bonds in the market, right? The dollar topping out. And we look at the wicks as well, right? You can see that we did reject that 21 area, right? That we were looking for. I mean, yeah, the wicks could be telling us the market bonds already started, but yeah, I would again, right? This is the level 18.5. If we break that, then you could get market bullish. Otherwise, the wicks could continue to push higher, right? We look at the 10-year yields, and yeah, they have broken out of the channel, right? I was wrong about that. I thought it slowed down, but it doesn't. And again, yeah, the next support level, right? This would be your wave 4. So it would, let's put it this way. This is the 1, 2. Then I'd say the next level of resistance is above 5%, right? And then 5.3% on the 10-year. All right, let's look at this week's watch list, right? With that being said, the first one I have is NVDA. Again, the reason for that is I do think that this bounce right here, right, is just an oversold bounce. Maybe at the most, I could definitely, some might argue like, hey, it's broken out, right? But I'd say at the most probably could bounce up to 460, but I definitely see, right? I definitely see this bounce getting rejected and coming back down. So I have NVIDIA puts below 445, right? I would say a safer entry would be 440, right? You can see this is their support level where it keeps bouncing off of. So 442.5-ish, right? You break that, then you definitely got a lot of room to the downside. So that would kind of be the safe trigger. A more risky trigger would just be, grabbing the high of Monday. So yeah, that's what I have. Next one I have is mRNA. And again, this is sideways, right? It could go one of two ways, right? This consolidation, if it can break over 105, then we could definitely move up to 112, right? And if this, breaks below 100, then again, we're probably going to make new lows at 90s, right? So yeah, just wait to see which way this consolidation breaks, and it'll make an expanded move. The next one I have is Apple. Again, the reason for that, right? Daily might look bullish, but we go to the weekly chart of Apple, right? I mean, you can see here, right? We have close right at resistance. So if Apple wants to fill the gap, that would kind of be, the time that it would, kind of attempt, it does have a large gap to fill, right? So I do think that if it stays below 176, it's got a strong short at filling the gap right before it bounces. So I would say wait for it to break below 176, 175. If it does, then we could definitely fill a gap at 165, right? And yeah, it would be bullish only over 180, right? Otherwise, it could just be, again, we could push up to that trend line, right? And then reject and come back down. So that is certainly possible on Apple as well. So last but not least is natural gas. Yeah, it's kind of in a bullish sequence, right? If it can get over $8, then we could see 8.3, 8.5, right? If it can get over 8.5, then it can see 9.6. But yeah, that's kind of where I think this rally ends. And it comes back to the bottom of the channel. So yeah, that's all I have for this week. Hope you have a great week.